That's hello. Hey. What's going on? How fun was that? Do you enjoy the process of doing a video?
It looks like we do.
Kind of, not really though.
Yes, we do, and we certainly love the finished product, and I really love to do the creative stuff. But it can also be exhausting being on for 30 hours.
Right. As long as they're inside, it's not so bad, because we've done some outdoors in the winter.
We had one where we had to call it because I was getting hypothermic.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
See, not fun.
Yeah, so that wasn't a sweet day. Yeah.
So in terms of the concept of that video, are you guys really involved in that, or it's kind of like just tell us what to do? Like.
Oh yeah, we're that was directed by Kyle Davison, who's done almost all of our videos. Not all of them, but most of them. And him and I have always been very collaborative about. Sometimes the idea will come more from our side, sometimes more from his side, and then we'll develop it together.
Leah's wondering, what is your favorite music video that you've ever shot?
Follow was fun because we had that big pyro explosions 50 feet high.
Speak for yourself. I was the guy having to run away from the explosion and look cool, and was actually running away from an explosion and not feeling very cool, feeling terrified.
And then I was the guy that had to go through the airport the next day and tested positive for explosives on my shoes.
Yeah.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, because of all the whatever gunpowder from the explosions going on.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh, we should have. People ask me, where's Ian? Can we say he's just taking the day off?
He's getting a tattoo.
He's busy getting a tattoo.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Okay, now people know the answer to that. Someone's asking, Joss, what's your new neck tattoo?
It is the coordinates of the Marianas Trench. We all have them.
Yeah, mine are in the arm here.
In different spots.
Yeah.
Did you get them together?
No.
Just
Ian is getting his right now.
Oh, is he right now?
we all did it
that's
about
amazing.
2 years ago, and he's like, I'm in.
That's incredible.
Kimmy says, is it bad I want Josh's shoes?
Well, they are. I mean, they're
They're nice shoes.
Pretty sweet
shiny
shoes.
Yeah.
Look,
You can check your makeup in them.
They're
and-
Transformers too. You can.
Melissa's wondering, are there
I
any-
want your guys' socks.
Yeah, you guys.
I noticed your socks.
socks.
Are amazing.
I'll trade you my socks for your boots.
What was the question? I think it was Melissa was wondering, are you guys, what old songs are you guys excited to perform on the new tour?
What old songs are you
Yeah.
excited to perform?
Well, I'm excited because we're doing a couple of new versions of old songs that we're sort of making medley versions of songs and stuff, and I think that'll be fun to. It can become challenging to keep stuff fresh once you've been playing songs for 10 years, right? So I think having a new approach to a couple is going to be very rewarding on this tour.
We're going to get your microphone
on our
back
toes.
here in a second.
Microphone there.
When you guys are in the studio, when you're recording, do you think of the translation of what that song will sound like on a stage? Is the live performance, does it affect the recording process?
No, and I think if you let it, then you're compromising yourself in the studio. And just my humble opinion. I think if you're making choices that are keeping the song from being the best it can be, I don't think that's the right choice.
Okay.
So for me personally, I think whatever you need to do in the studio to get it done, however many tracks you need, however many instruments you need to make it the best it can be, and then you figure out how to do it live later.
Well, I was going to say, do you know how to play the album?
Yes.
Working on it.
Yeah, you're working on it?
Talking about sometime. You're talking about the Pink song with the real drums and stuff, and we still feature all real instruments and everything. So that always makes it a little bit easier because we've actually tracked it in the first place in the studio. So
Right.
yes, we know how to play the songs.
Yeah, but it's tough because a lot of people don't. The album comes out, you're like, God, I've got to go on tour. Now we have to learn how to play the album on a stage.
Yeah, the only thing for me is remembering words, but I've never been good at that. I guarantee I have screwed up a lyric every song, every show of my career.
I mean, Axl Rose had a teleprompter for his entire career.
Yeah.
How do you do that?
Yeah, Mick Jagger still does that.
Yeah.
It's weird for me after we've been playing the songs a lot, because then I get really good at the parts, and I'm like, man, I wish I was this good at the part when I was actually recording it. Because it would have sounded way better on the recording.
Or at least saved a lot of
But now
time.
you practiced it because you've done 300 shows.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
Now, Kessie is wondering what inspired Phantoms. Now, I know there's an element to Edgar Allan Poe in this, right?
Yeah, I mean, we've set every album with a loose theme.
Yeah.
We did like a fantasy themed album. We did 80s coming of age adventure movie themed album, and I liked the haunted house theme because we'd been on tour and we'd had a day off in New Orleans, and I was sort of walking around looking at all this incredible sort of voodoo culture, and what I really liked about it was that their death culture wasn't a negative thing. It was about it's about being with family and stuff like that, and I really liked that take on it, where it's kind of like a hopeful look at that, and I liked how it felt as a relationship metaphor, so we set it there.
When it comes to putting an album together and sort of connecting everything, you want to do that because it's awesome and it's cool and it's artistic, but people live in a singles world where they just want to buy individual
Sure.
things. What are your feelings with putting something together with what the market and the people may want to do, or what they will do with your final product?
Well, I totally agree with you that that's the way the industry is going. I think over the next 5 to 10 years, we're going to probably see less and less albums at all and just singles. To me, as an artist and as a fan, I find that uninspiring. Especially even more from a fan perspective, because how many of your favorite songs weren't necessarily a hit by that artist?
Right.
It was like
it's crazy.
Some cool album track that was like a side B or song number 5 on the album or whatever, and it wasn't a hit song, but it's your favorite song. And we'll see that'll just disappear.
I still hear songs and when the song ends, in my head I start singing the next song.
Yeah.
Because I know the order to so many albums that I had when I was a kid.
I think for us, putting out complete albums is still an asset, though, because for the people that do really love the singles, there is a lot more to dive into, and you really get to know the band and the music a lot more than if you're just hearing the 3 songs that were on the radio.
And
so there is a treasure chest there.
I really like to think of, too, like each album as a whole body of work. So, it's not just about like just hit chasing and chasing the singles and stuff, like trying to do cool artsy tracks, or like maybe trying to tie some songs together in an interesting way, and like try and think about it like a listening experience right from start to finish.
Now, a lot of people are asking about the tour. People are asking all over the world. So yeah, I know you guys have announced the tour, but what dates have you announced so far? Is it just Canadian dates, or?
We have Canadian dates through March. We've got about 3.5 weeks in Canada. Then we've got about 5-6 weeks in the States through May, and then there's going to be lots more coming. This is just the beginning right now.
Yeah, we just haven't announced the rest of the world yet.
And Hannah's just wondering, do you guys have your costumes planned for the masquerade?
Yeah, working on it.
Yeah, we thought it would be fun because it was a haunted house themed album. We thought it would be fun to encourage fans to dress to impress. And everyone coming to the masquerade ball. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Okay, we also want to get your perspective on this new movie, The Dirt.
Have you guys read the book?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, the book's pretty intense.
Okay, so it's a biopic on the rock band Motley Crue. It's going to be on Netflix on March 22nd. We'll show a little bit of the trailer first.
If we want to knock people on their asses, then we've got to give them a show. I'm talking like a stadium show in the clubs. The fans, they're dying for some anarchy. So let's give it to them.
I work for Electra Records. You guys like a record deal?
I had managed the Scorpions, Bon Jovi, Skid Row, Kiss, but I had never been through what Motley Crue put me through.
I am sick and tired of not having any fun.
Everything's upside down and flip-flopping.
Motley Crue, no strangers to controversy.
Vince Neil was charged with vehicular manslaughter.
Tommy Lee and Heather Locklear have separated.
Thoughts?
Awesome.
I have a couple.
Yeah.
The book is a great read. It's a very tell-all, for real. They're definitely actually writing it themselves. You can tell because it's not written all that well.
Yep.
Which I there's a charm to it.
Yeah.
I think it's an interesting time to make a movie about a band that personifies the epitome of excess. I don't think 2019 is going to love all of those candid stories, or are they going to water it down?
I think that it's so.
I mean, is it just going to be the entertaining aspects of it?
Because the book came out like almost 20 years ago. It's like 18, 19 years ago. Looking at that, you remember, I remember, but I think anybody who may come across that, it's so cartoonish because that stuff doesn't exist anymore. That I don't even think people will look at it as something that was real, let alone be offended by what actually might have gone down. Like, it's so
over the top.
It's so over the top
level.
and foreign to what you read now or how people act now that it doesn't even come off as being real.
Behavior was so cartoonish. I do have some firsthand experience because they recorded their albums in my father's studio.
Oh, really?
So,
really?
Yeah, I grew up in Little Mountain Sound in Vancouver.
Oh, you did?
And I've got a great Tommy Lee story. My dad was working upstairs, and they were in Studio A, and Tommy, the way he would like to, when he played drums, he would want a subwoofer right beside his head. just super, super loud, and they're trying to have a board meeting upstairs. With every kick drum, the glasses are out like Jurassic Park style, just like flying all over the place. Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be an interesting movie.
Yeah.
Aubrey's wondering, would you guys ever do a movie by yourselves, or want one made? I guess you probably wouldn't want to be involved in it, but.
I mean, that seems like an incredibly self-involved.
Yeah.
How could I have? Yes, I would love to have a movie made about myself.
That's the thing. That's the thing.
First thing, do you think one day you'll want to tell your story? Like if it's in a book form?
Yeah, maybe in a comedic sort of way.
Yeah, or just to look back on for us. You know,
Yeah.
I don't. You know, it'd be interesting to see that in 40 years. Be like, oh, that's cool what we did.
But it's so different now because you tell your story every day on social media, right?
Yeah,
Like that didn't exist then, right?
Yeah.
Like
that's also how a band like Motley would have gotten away with
Oh,
those shenanigans.
yes.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
those stories about like Ozzy Osbourne snorting ants.
Yes.
Like, crazy stuff like that.
right, which is, by the way, in the book.
Yeah.
So yeah, what's the first date you guys are doing? That's what people ask.
March
show.
6th. Yeah, March 6th in Windsor, Ontario.
In Windsor, yeah. So people are very excited. People are saying they're coming out to see you. Yeah, you have a lot of fans watching. So very excited for this new album.
I love that.
Awesome. Sweet.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us. The new album is Phantoms, out next Friday, March 1st. We're going to leave you now with another track. This is Echoes of You.